India refutes these allegations. India's position has been and continues to be that Jadhav was kidnapped from Iran and appears to have been framed.
There is no urgency. Second, the relief that is sought is manifestly unavailable.
Under Article 36, the Vienna Convention has admittedly been breached by Pakistan.
Namaskar, Radha. Guess what, folks? Once again, we're back to familiar territory when it comes to India versus Pakistan. Pakistan pretty much playing a game which, for all of us who've been listening to what's been taking place over the last couple of weeks, and who've been witness firsthand to the kind of treachery that sometimes Pakistan indulges in, I think what we've seen unfold today at the International Court of Justice at The Hague, once again, it's Pakistan which clearly has come out second position. Since this is an India versus Pakistan match, and since we only have two players to look at, I'm saying second, otherwise I would have said last. Because what happened today in course of the hearing at The Hague, when an attempt is being made by India to save the life of our very own citizen Kulbhushan Jadhav, Pakistan has come up with what I believe is the most ridiculous excuse which could ever have been offered. In just a short while from now, we'd be joined by the man who actually was representing the Pakistani case today at The Hague. Pakistan's so-called top legal voice. What does the top legal voice of Pakistan, who has spent just over an hour today trying to defend the Pakistani position on Kulbhushan Jadhav, why has he taken that position? We'll be going across to him live in just a few moments from now. But let me just break down the entire story of what's happened today into 5 key parts. What's actually happened at The Hague today? It was literally, quite literally, it was resembling an India versus Pakistan match. Of course, at stake was a human life, the life of Kulbhushan Jadhav. And it appears that Harish Salve, India's senior-most legal luminary, has certainly managed to expose Pakistan with the lie which Pakistan had been peddling for the last 1 year on Kulbhushan Jadhav. Now, how did he do that? He literally cornered Pakistan. India, folks, has cornered Pakistan. Pakistan is saying that Kulbhushan Jadhav still has at least 6 months to live and says nothing is going to happen to Jadhav for another 6 months. If indeed that's the case, then what were all these great statements which were being made by the Pakistani military establishment of these last couple of weeks? Aaj khatam ho jayega, kal khatam ho jayega. Who were these people? Weren't those Pakistani military officers who were making those kind of rather bombastic statements? Our headline number 3. It appears, folks, that what India has managed to do, and full marks to the Indian team, is that we have managed to deflate the very balloon which was floated by Pakistan, and that balloon was in the form of this so-called confessional video. A doctored confessional video which Pakistan wanted to play even today at that International Court of Justice hearing. The International Court of Justice at The Hague has outrightly refused permission. It refused permission to Pakistan to play this video because the legal luminaries at the ICJ thought that this is something which should not be done by Pakistan. We'd be looking at that question. Why did the International Court of Justice decide not to play this video, which Pakistan believes is the ultimate weapon it has against Kulbhushan Jadhav? Another lie, which has constantly been propagated by Pakistan on Kulbhushan Jadhav. It says that it has denied India consular access 15 times. But at the World Court, you know what Pakistan was doing today? At the International Court of Justice, Pakistan was trying to play the victim card. It says it's India which is trying to develop animosity against Pakistan. It is India which is responsible for Kulbhushan Jadhav supposedly being involved in terror activities. Now, on one hand, they say India doesn't even accept the fact that he is an Indian national. But on the other hand, they say, hey, listen, the same person is responsible, who is an Indian citizen according to Pakistan, of carrying out terror activities in Pakistan. So if Kulbhushan Jadhav, according to the same Pakistanis, is not even an Indian citizen, and they believe that India is not accepting his nationality, then on what basis they say that the same Kulbhushan Jadhav, an Indian terrorist, allegedly, is responsible for what's going on in Pakistan? And fifth and finally, I think the viewpoint tonight has to be clear on what position you take on Nawaz Sharif. I believe what's going on at the International Court of Justice today, and when the decision comes out, is really going to be a huge referendum for Nawaz Sharif. Is he the one to be blamed for Pakistan's poor show at The Hague? How is the Pakistani media, the Pakistani judicial establishment looking at the developments today at The Hague? We'll be bringing you exclusive insights on that story as well in just a few moments from now. But let's at the top. Let's at the top. Just take you straight into the heart of the story. What's really happened? India and Pakistan, simply put, were trying to be at each other's throat. But this is what happened. India's argument has been very, very clear that Kulbhushan Jadhav has been an individual who was kidnapped from Iran. And what does Pakistan say? Pakistan says that actually Kulbhushan Jadhav was arrested from Baluchistan and he's an individual who was responsible for carrying out subversive activities in Pakistan. Let's look at the other round of arguments and counter-arguments which played out today at The Hague. India very clearly and vociferously over a period of time has repeatedly been asking for consular access to Kulbhushan Jadhav. Pakistan has not provided India with that consular access. What does it say? It says consular access will be given only on the basis of merit. Now, my argument is that if Pakistan believes that consular access has to be provided on the basis of merit, what is it that it wants India to do to give that merit, to be assured that that consular access must be given? Jadhav has been denied right to seek legal counsel. That's the Indian position, consistently, which has been maintained and again repeated by Harish Salve today. What does the Pakistani counsel say? He says Jadhav was given a fair trial where there was no one defending him, a fair trial which is a military kangaroo court, and a fair trial according to Pakistan where you have a trial and immediately you come to the decision that he has to die. That's the definition of fair trial as far as Pakistan is concerned. Prima facie, India believes that this is indeed a violation of Vienna Convention, and we need to look at this point very closely. On what basis? How is it possible for Pakistan today at this international court to take this position that actually it's not a convention of Vienna multilateral agreement which exists between different nations? On what basis? If it does have a citizen in its custody, if it does have a citizen which it on its own self believes is responsible for carrying out allegedly subversive activities, should it not be giving a chance to that individual to present a case? Should it not be allowing the country which the Pakistanis themselves believe is responsible for promoting of that individual, shouldn't that country be given access to that individual? Beats me. Finally, the question of urgency. India's argument has been that on the basis of available intelligence inputs, there is an urgent requirement for the ICJ, for the International Court of Justice to immediately pronounce a verdict in this case. The Pakistani consul today has said no need. The entire case of urgency which was presented by India today is being outrightly refuted by Pakistan. It says he is still going to live for another 6 months. Who exactly is this fellow, Kulbhushan Jadhav? According to India, now again, the argument which we have put out today, which is being put out by Harish Salve, is an argument which has been put out over a long period of time. India believes that Kulbhushan Jadhav is a legitimate businessman and he has been framed. He's been kidnapped, to be more precise. What does Pakistan say? Pakistan says Jadhav's passport details proof that he could probably be a spy. Now, this probability theory has got itself converted into reality. You know why? Because of a confessional video which the Pakistanis got, a confessional video which the Pakistanis have been denied the right to play at an international forum. Therefore, we ask this question, on what basis? On what basis has this entire charade has been played by Pakistan? How is it that Pakistan repeatedly has been taking this position that they are a mature democracy and they have gone through all the processes as far as law and democracy is concerned? How was that entire charade of Pakistan called out by India, led by our lead counsel Harish Salve? Just take a look at what really happened at the courtroom battle at The Hague today.
The fate of Kulbhushan Jadhav boiled down to the mother of all face-offs between India and Pakistan. At the International Court of Justice at The Hague, the stage was set for a clash between facts and lies. India was the first to present its case. Lead counsel Harish Salve shredded the lies that Pakistan has been peddling to the world for the last 1 year.
Jadhav was kidnapped from Iran and appears to have been framed based upon a confession extracted from him when he was in military custody. Under Article 36 of the Vienna Convention has admittedly been breached by Pakistan.
Salve made it clear that if Jadhav was to be executed, it would constitute no less than a war crime. India made 3 clear demands before the International Court of Justice. 1. That Kulbhushan Jadhav not be executed. 2. The original conditions of the Vienna Convention must be restored. And third, Pakistan must ensure that there is no violation of rights. 3 hours later, it was Pakistan's turn to present a counter-argument.
I will invite this court to dismiss the application.
And straight off, their main defense fell flat. The court refused to play this sham of a confession video of Kulbhushan Jadhav. Pakistan's fake proof was exposed on the world stage. Snubbed by the ICJ, Pakistan tried to save face by using another tactic. They've denied India consular access to Jadhav not once, not twice, but 15 times. But at the World Court, an exposed Pakistan tried to play the victim card.
The Pakistani authorities had made it clear that Commander Jadhav was not eligible for consular access, nor would he be granted consular access. Regrettably, Annex 7 says no such thing. What the applicant has sought to do is to introduce as Annex 11 an article from a newspaper, which, whatever else it may be, is not a newspaper of the record in Pakistan. The question of access to Commander Jadhav would be decided on the merits.
No evidence, no clear answers, a pitiful defense. Pakistan left completely on the back foot. Has India's case for Kulbhushan Jadhav only been made stronger?
Indeed, that's a big question. Have we effectively exposed the claims which were being made by Pakistan all this time that Kulbhushan Jadhav's case was being looked at so closely by media, by judiciary, by the political establishment of the two countries? So right at the top of Viewpoint, let me state very clearly where I stand. I believe India has gone to an international court against Pakistan after a gap of 18 years with a very, very clear-cut purpose and agenda. The International Court of Justice refused to allow Pakistan to play the so-called confessional video of Kulbhushan Jadhav in court. Pakistani media itself, just look at ARY Gold, just look at the kind of reportage which is taking place as we speak. Pakistani media itself is very unhappy with the performance of its own lawyer today at The Hague. Clearly, by refusing to attend the Belt and Road Summit on one hand in China, and now ensuring that Pakistan gets isolated even at the International Court of Justice, India has boxed Pakistan into a corner from which it is going to be exceedingly difficult for Pakistan to move out. Yet, and this is the real killer, folks, I believe despite this embarrassment which has been handed out to Pakistan by India today, I do not think that Pakistan is going to change its position one bit. I do not think that Pakistan is going to change its strategy one bit when it comes to India. Let me see whether my panelists agree with my viewpoint on that particular subject or not. The blunt question which we're asking tonight: India clearly has exposed Pakistan at the International Court of Justice. Is this simply put Pakistan's biggest ever global embarrassment? Answering that question, Sambit Patra, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, joining us live. Jaydev Ranade is here with us. He's the ex-additional secretary of the RNAW as well. KC Singh, a veteran of many such diplomatic battles, joining us live. Tanveer Ahmed Mir is a well-known legal voice. He's joining us live as well. And Taimur Shamil, he's a Pakistani defense analyst. He is joining us live in our studios from Pakistan as well. Welcome to all of you on the program. Before I come to you and before I start off with our buzzer round where I give our 2 or 3 main panelists 1 minute each to make their opening comments, a special guest joining us right at the top of the program, the man who was actually representing the Pakistani case at The Hague today, Attorney General Ashtar Osaf Ali is joining us on the phone line. Thanks very much, sir, for joining us. Let me ask you, Barrister, just before I started off with this program, I was looking at the kind of commentary which is taking place in Pakistani media, on Pakistani television channels, Pakistani websites, Pakistani print papers. And you know what they're saying, Barrister? They're all saying that Pakistan has presented an extremely pathetic case. Pakistan has presented an extremely weak case. Do you agree with this criticism which is being mounted against you today?
Number one, I think people don't know that it was not an evidentiary hearing. It was not a hearing in which evidence was to be produced, number one. Number two, It was only the question whether provisional measures should be put in place or not, because India had pleaded that there was urgency and that there was likelihood of Kulbhushan being executed on the 18th or about their time. That was the debate today.
Right.
And that's what was presented. So the question was not as to what evidence is there. The question was, is there an urgency?
No, I think you're trying to shift the goalposts here, sir. You're trying to now argue the reasons of reaching this platform itself. I'll come to that in a moment. But look at the other point. And frankly, this is the point which is being picked up by the Indian establishment to say that your lie has been exposed, which is that this whole charade of confessional video, this video that you have of Kulbhushan Jadhav, which you believe is the ultimate evidence which indicts him, you weren't even allowed to play that video to the ICJ. Should I not say that you've been called out by the International Court of Justice today itself, even before a verdict could be passed?
To get a reaction from the court, whether it was going to act as a court of appeal and whether it was going to look at evidence or not. And the court said, no, we're not looking at evidence.
No, you're saying the court is not looking at anyone, then what is your position? India says that you are, in Pakistan, the life of a citizen is in danger. There is a verdict which has been passed by a military court in Pakistan, which according to me is a kangaroo court. What is the Pakistani position then? Because are you saying the limited objective is that India wanted this matter to be heard in an expeditious and an urgent manner? Was that the limited objective according to you?
It was all about India approaching the court.
Yes, that's
India,
right.
Right. So it was the Indian case which was brought before the court. Pakistan was merely responding and saying, number one, there is no urgency in the case.
Right.
Number two, consular access is given to people who come to countries having valid passports and are not under any cover. And that Pakistan and India have a 2008 accord which modifies the Vienna Convention. And therefore, while Pakistan and India are Commonwealth countries and there is this 2008 accord, therefore ICJ cannot be approached.
No, you're still maintaining, sir, that it's the Indian position which has led to you also reaching the Hague. Be that as it may, the truth is because if the Pakistanis have not left India with any other option. So there was no other option left for us other than to approach the International Court of Justice at the Hague and make the presentations that we have made. Are you therefore effectively saying that the entire purpose, this entire hearing which has gone on today was only and only because India wanted to argue the case that it should be just heard expeditiously, and is that all? You don't believe that evidence had any merit today?
That's right.
Okay. So that's your view. That's your view, sir. That's your view. Thanks for joining us. Let me see whether our panelists agree with that or not. Let me straight away go across to K.C. Singh, Ambassador K.C. Singh, who's joining us live. Ambassador Singh, let me begin with you. 1 minute to begin with, sir. Do you, for a moment, agree with the position which is being taken here by Chaudhry Ashraf Ali, who said that actually this has nothing to do with evidence? No evidence is required. This is only and only to settle the case whether the ICJ should have looked up the position which was being taken by India at all.
Look, in the first instance, the court will look at the issue of jurisdiction. Should they be looking into it? And the second thing was provisional measures. That in the meanwhile, Jadhav should not be hanged. Now, the fact that Pakistan came and said there's a clemency period of 150 days, therefore they gave a commitment that they are not about to hang him. So therefore, to my mind, provisional measures are not needed. Not for 150 days running from the time of the sentence, which means till about August, because that commitment has been given by Pakistan. Now, in the meanwhile, if there is expedited trial, which is what Pakistan sought, and I'm sure India would agree, probably by August or before August, the trial can be conducted. So I think the provisional measures are now redundant. They are not necessary. It's because they've come and conceded it, that we are not hanging him. Now, coming to that, they basically have two arguments. One is that the Vienna Convention is overruled by a bilateral agreement.
Right.
Now, Indian point is that that agreement was never filed with the UN. So, unless you go to the UN and say, I retract from a Vienna special protocol commitment of compulsory jurisdiction,
Right.
a simple agreement does not override it. So
I'll
the
just
court
come
will
back
look
to you.
into it.
I'll just come back
Probably
to you, Ambassador Singh.
India-
I'll come back to you, because this
Yeah,
is just the first
yeah.
round. This is just the first round. I'm just getting introductory comments. I'll come back to you once we move to the open end of this debate. Let me just settle this question of Vienna Convention itself, because I think that is also at the heart of this dispute. The Pakistani position is that there is no such violation of Vienna Convention, because there is a separate treaty which has been signed between India and Pakistan in 2008, where if an individual is perceived or is held guilty of being involved in subversive activities by establishment of the two countries, then that Vienna Convention does not hold. Tanveer Ahmed Mir, let me come to you. Purely from a legal perspective, the point being taken by the Pakistani establishment here, that we are very well within our rights not to grant consular access to India to Kulbhushan Jadhav, because we believe this is not a violation of the Vienna Convention. Does that hold for you?
Well, at the moment, it certainly holds some amount of water for putting up an argument, and this flows basically from the contention and the existence of an agreement which was signed between Government of India and Government of Pakistan precisely on 21st May 2008. Now, both India and Pakistan, therefore, entered into this bilateral agreement with open eyes that what will be the rights of persons as regards consular access is concerned. And let me tell you, there is a clause 6 in this agreement which says that in case of an arrest or detention on grounds of security, each side, India and Pakistan, may examine the case on its merits and does not contain an obligation to either inform the other party or to allow consular access. The second point which I would like to make is that if Government of Pakistan did not register this agreement, or either party did not with the United Nations Secretary General's office,
Right.
there is that will not create a dent on applicability of the agreement.
So let me just hold you.
because
Let me just hold you. Let me just hold
precisely
you. Hold, just hold on, because I think that's the crux of the debate that you've highlighted. And we're also joining me now, Taimur Shamil, defense analyst from Pakistan. Mr. Shamil, look at the clear-cut legal position being taken here. We've had Ambassador Singh and we've had Tanveer Ahmed Mir, both of them pretty much in agreement with this fact that this argument which is being made by the Pakistani side that we need not give consular access to India for Kulbhushan Jadhav because it's not a violation of Vienna Convention. We've just proven how that point being made by Pakistan is actually not factual. Was Pakistan just not prepared for this day today?
The thing is that Pakistan is looking at Yadav from a different perspective. Pakistan thinks that Yadav is a terrorist and he is not an Indian or an Indian national who was here for any good, for business or anything like that. He was a person, a raw agent who was a terrorist and supporting and financing terrorists, and that is the case. If India is being adventurous with Pakistan, then this is Pakistan's message for India. This is Pakistan's case. So Pakistan is looking at it with a different perspective. You give consular access to any person who is an Indian national and here for something else, but you don't give consular access to spies and terrorists.
No.
That is Pakistan's point.
Mr. Shamil, if you say, and that's what I cannot understand. If on one hand you say that Pakistan believes that Kulbhushan Jadhav is not an Indian citizen.
No, we have asked India. We have asked India. Since India has went to ICJ,
so give consular
Pakistan
access.
says,
No. Why don't you give consular access then to India to establish whether the argument which you're making holds water or not cannot be decided only on the basis of position which has been taken by you.
Right, okay. Pakistan's point is that once India has went to ICJ, now India has to prove that he is an Indian national, and once you prove it, then you can have the consular access. Because Pakistan is not playing a different game in ICJ with India. If you want to play ICJ, Pakistan would play the same. This is Pakistan's perspective. So if he's a spy, if he's a terrorist operating inside Pakistan, he would be hanged. This is army's perspective. This is Pakistan's perspective. But once you go to ICJ, you have to prove the other way around.
Ambassador Singh, can you just help me and my viewers understand this, sir? The entire country today wants to know whether this position which has been taken by the Pakistanis at the international court, does this really hold? Does this really hold that there is no violation at all of the Vienna Convention?
No, you see, they're using a very clever argument which was always expected to come up. because the passport which has been caught, supposedly caught with Kulbhushan Yadav, has a Muslim name on it, Hussein Mubarak Patel. Now, India has never claimed that that passport is fake. Now, when did he convert to Islam? Did he convert to Islam or not? Maybe we don't know. We don't know the facts. But Pakistan's playing this game to say that if he was on an assumed name, therefore their case is strengthened that he's a spy. That may or may not be right. That can only be known if once we meet him. If you don't give us access, how is government of India supposed to know why he's having a different passport?
Now it would be decided. Pakistan's point is that it would be decided in ICJ now. And that is the point. Otherwise, Pakistan would pursue the case as it is pursuing, and he has been sentenced to death. So this is very clear that now everything would be proved or disapproved in the ICJ.
So now Pakistan, you're basically saying that Pakistani instruments of whatever democracy is left in Pakistan are no more applicable now. As far as Kulbhushan Jadav's case is concerned, it's only the International Court of Justice. Do I hear you right?
He has been sentenced to death inside Pakistan. This is a very clear message from the Pakistani side that any person who would be operating inside Pakistan to sabotage peace and stability would be hanged. And this is not the first time, by the way. You know better. You are a journalist. That Pakistan has been hanging many other terrorists who were here operating against Pakistan. So this is very clear.
Sambit, I just want to bring in Sambit Patra for a moment here. Sambit, on a day when when so-called Pakistani jurist is gone at an international platform, when he has suffered a setback, when Pakistan has suffered a setback, at the very basis of this video, this confessional statement which Pakistan had is not allowed to play. Well, on a day when the same jurist then comes out and tells us that actually evidence has no meaning for us because evidence we weren't going to present anyways. Here we have a Pakistani defense analyst who said, now boss, you go to hell. Only the International Court of Justice will determine what will happen.
ICJ doesn't have any.
Really?
ICJ doesn't have any jurisdiction on a spy or on terrorism.
So Sambit, what is this about then? What is this about? I mean, they're literally saying that it's an Indian case that you've gone to the ICJ, now you deal with it.
No, in fact, there is a great deal of confusion as far as Pakistan is concerned, and that the profound confusion is always hallmark of Pakistan. But now coming to the issue proper, I mean, remember as far as what the Pakistani lawyer was saying, I mean, the lawyer who is fighting for Pakistan in ICJ was saying a while ago, he was partly correct that this issue is totally about the provisional measures, but he was wrong on the count that it is nothing about evidence. How does the evidence come central to this whole issue has to be discussed, because it plays a very important role. If you would have gone through the narration of Mr. Harish Salve representing India, at one point of time Mr. Harish Salve rightly articulates and says that what is the evidence which proves that Kulbhushan Jadhav was a spy or a national security threat to Pakistan.
There is a point. Here is a point.
The only thing that
it is a point that India went to ICJ.
Just a second.
India needs to come up.
Please, sir. Let's be civil. Let's not fight over each other. Let's wait for each other's turn.
I'll come to you, Taimur.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Sambit.
Thank you so much. Over here, Mr. Harish Salve goes ahead to say that the only evidence that Pakistan has in its possession declaring Mr. Jadhav as a spy and a national security threat appears to be his own confession. That is all. There is no other evidence. And secondly, if at all there would have been any other evidence, then Pakistan should have informed that to India.
Yes.
Then Pakistan should have provided the consular
Mr.
access to India.
Your problem
also would have been known.
Mr. Taimur, your problem is on one hand, you guys don't believe in the evidence that you yourself claim you have. Which is why at some levels, and I can play the Pakistani media clips if you'd like me to play. I want my producers to just keep that clip ready, and I'll play that clip which is currently on air on ARY. Pakistani channel, Pakistani lawyers, Pakistani anchors. Just see, Mr. Shamil, what does the media fraternity of your own country feel about what has happened today at the International Court of Justice? Let me just play this. If my producers can play this, we'll just play. We'll just play that in a moment. But just a point, Taimur.
Right. The point is, this was he was a terrorist operating inside Pakistan, and what so many Hazaras, so many innocent people who have been killed inside Balochistan. That is the evidence. Don't you see the dead people inside Pakistan? That is Pakistan's perspective.
You say that he's killed.
That is Pakistan's perspective.
You say yes, it's perspective.
But inside Pakistan are killed by Kulbhushan.
Can I
just saying is that
perspective on what this is.
Please let me complete. Please.
Yes.
India's point is that Kulbhushan was kidnapped from Iran and then brought to Pakistan. My point is that do you expect Iranian government that they are just banana republic and Pakistan would just infiltrate.
Do you have any evidence other than this video?
Bring back.
Do you have any evidence other than this video? Do you have any?
How can Pakistan army?
Do you have any?
I want to answer this.
Yeah,
I want to answer this.
Sambit.
Yeah, this is a very crucial point. This is a very crucial point. Iran, as you know, as you gentlemen know, Iran is a very.
Here others also.
Sambit.
See, number one, to the question that India is saying that Mr. Kulbhushan Jadhav was in fact abducted from Chabahar in Iran and was brought to Pakistan. It is not just India which is saying. Get your facts right, Mr. Taimur. Number one, Iran's envoy to your own country, Pakistan, Mr. Mehdi Hunardost, has categorically stated that according to Iran, it is an abduction by the ISI of Mr. Kulbhushan Jadhav from Chabahar.
There is no statement.
Number two,
it's also,
sir, please let's not do this. Taimur,
let's not do this.
Can you give me the evidence? Can you give me the evidence right now?
Be calm.
You are not giving any evidence.
Mr. Taimur, there's no evidence.
What is this?
You are not giving
we should not be shouting over each other. Do you want that kind of debate? Then I can shout over you.
No. Sambit.
No, if you want that kind of debate, I can shout over you.
I'm asking for an evidence. Can you just give me a link? Can you just give me a source? I'm a journalist.
I'll do that. I'll do that if you can be quiet.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. Number two, Germany. Germany's envoy Gunter Mulak, in fact, who was a former ambassador to Pakistan, also had said that all the investigation by Germans also show that it was an abduction by ISI and Mr. Kulbhushan Jadhav was brought from Chabahar to Pakistan.
My question is
and in
how?
fact, there have been
how can
lot
Pakistan
many
go and abduct
within the Pakistani dispensation itself.
Chabahar is the most
can you be quiet for a while?
One of the most protected places in Chabahar, in Iran.
Can I bring in Jaidev Ranade? You know, he's the man who's been on the hot seat in many ways. You know, Taimur, I think you are exposing your own contradictions, your own self. When I asked Taimur Shamil there, my Pakistani friend.
Question.
Wait, I'm asking
a simple question. And when I ask a simple question, that doesn't mean that I'm doing anything else.
Let me answer. I'm saying the Pakistani view is, we believe we have evidence against Kulbhushan Jadhav. We believe he is responsible, but we will not present this evidence anymore because India has gone to the international court. Now, my point is, if you had evidence, if you wanted to embarrass us, you should have taken that evidence and presented it.
It's not about embarrassing or not embarrassing. The point is that once you have gone to ICJ, now the game would be played over there. Let's see what happens from ICJ.
Let's see.
Meanwhile, Pakistan has its sentence into death.
The very core of the whole argument is very.
Let's hear.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, let's hear from Jaidev.
Two other points which are extremely difficult to fathom. The first, he says we have gone to ICJ. I mean, according to him, to determine whether Jadhav is an Indian or not. That in itself is a very surprising thing.
It's a self-goal.
We said he is an Indian, that's why we took the case up, firstly. Secondly, even when there are terrorists caught here, the first thing Pakistan says is produce the evidence. The first thing we do is produce the evidence. How do we know that he's come from Pakistan or wherever? They have produced nothing of the sort. And third, Iran, not only has Iran said that he was kidnapped from Iran, they have also sought consular access.
No Iranian diplomat has said that.
He doesn't seem to accept that. So I don't understand. And if I may just
wait, let's have a
can you give me a link? Can you give me a source of any Iranian diplomat? One thing.
You bring the evidence first as to how you think that Mr. Kulbhushan Jadhav is a terrorist.
There are seasoned diplomats, seasoned bureaucrats here. Please let's show some civility. Let's show some civility. No, Taimur, that's why sometime back I'd taken a position. That's why sometime back I'd taken a position that I won't call any Pakistani guests. I don't call any Pakistani generals. Please don't now create a situation where I don't call any Pakistani at all. Jaidev ji.
The other point here is about
one moment.
Is about the passport, which a big deal is being made of. I don't think anyone would send a person for an espionage mission with a passport of
which nails us.
Yeah, which nails us.
Can I
mean, deniability is the basis.
Is there, and he would know this more. He'd be the best person to do this.
From the very first point. Very first point.
Taimur, wait. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a video. I'm going to play a collection of these so-called confessional videos. You know, so there is a confessional video that you have, Taimur. There are confessional videos which, by the way, Indians also have. There are confessional videos of terrorists who've been trained in Pakistan, and all those confessional videos that we have, you don't accept. So you want us to accept the video that you have put out, but you will not accept the video that we have put out. So let's just listen to this. Just see this story of confession versus confession. I'll come back to the debate.
I was picked up by Raw in 2013 and ever since I've been directing various activities in Balochistan and Karachi.
ਜਮਾਤੁਦਾਵਾ ਦੇ ਬਿਲਾਲ ਤੇ ਅਬਦੁਰਰਹੀਮ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਿਹਾਦ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਲਸ਼ਕਰ ਤੈਬਾ ਦੇ 3 ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਕੈਂਪਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਗਿਆ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ
बहुत सारे एक ही है एक मिनट हाँ हाँ पर क्या करें पर आप इतने लोग इकट्ठे हुए हैं यहाँ पे पर मैं पकड़ के बैठा हूँ नहीं ये कहाँ पहुँचे जिधर ये कश्मीरियों को मारा जाता है
मर्जी से नहीं आया था सर बड़ा भाई लेकर आया था वो उनके पास छोड़ के चला गया लश्कर तैयबा वाले थे और वो लोग सर जबरदस्ती फिर भागने नहीं देते थे वो कहते थे आप जाओगे आपको मार देंगे.
So there you have, from Bahadur Ali to Riaz to Naved, and these are just 4 videos that we have played. Ambassador Singh, therefore I come back to you, sir. Just in the context.
Wait.
We
don't say that these are Pakistanis, but
wait. No. Ambassador Singh, you know, is Taimur Shamil, what he's saying today on the program, is this exactly the problem that the Pakistani establishment suffers from? Create hype, create a myth, keep repeating that myth, and then believe at some stage that myth will turn into a reality without actually backing it with evidence, as they seem to be doing with Kulbhushan Jadhav. Am I right? Ambassador Singh.
Look, this is
Ambassador Singh, please.
This is the Pakistani. This is the Pakistani military. They've got hold of an entity which they can now play around with, use continuously, bait India with, and create moral equivalence with India. That not only, because we've been charging them since 2008 and before for sponsoring terror against India. Now they want to take this one caged person and say, here is India which is sponsoring terror. Now in the process of doing that, they are forgetting that they must do it in a manner that the whole world will believe. That is in compliance with international standards. Have a transparent trial. Otherwise, if you start abducting each other's citizens and conducting trials in military cantonments, you are going to have terrible relations between the two countries. And that's probably what the Pakistani military wants in the first place.
Well, I think it's opposite. It's the opposite case. Please read Pravin Soni, his book, what he says.
Wait. You can quote Pravin Swami and I will play the video of ARY. I'll play the video of ARY. One moment. Tanvi. Wait. Let's listen to that.
BJP and the Indian government is embarrassing.
No. Listen. Let's not shift from the focus of the debate. Let's just keep ourselves restricted to Kulbhushan Jadhav. Others will go all over the place. Yes, Tanvi.
If our worthy guest from across the border can allow us also to speak,
yes.
Let me tell you that confessions all over the world, Bhupen, are always considered to be the weakest possible of evidence. Now, we don't have to go to Pakistan. Let's look at our own confessional theory in the law in India. Even when we made some draconian laws like Tada and Pota, where we made confessions admissible against an accused in a court of law, the Honorable Supreme Court of India made these confessions redundant in all the trials. So if confession is the basis of a case against a Jadhav in a military court in Pakistan or in any part of the world, that is the last piece of evidence on which you can convict somebody. Now the question here which the Pakistani establishment should show is that even if he has been subjected to a military court trial, he should have a right of appeal, and then he should be given right to have a further appeal.
And nothing like that has been done by Pakistan.
The Pakistani perspective is.
What is the basis?
That this is not just.
I'm trying to understand what is
example. This is not a normal.
What is the basis? What is the basis of Pakistani perspective?
Peace and stability.
Peace and stability?
You don't give.
Really? Peace and stability?
Yes.
Okay.
He was here to sabotage peace and stability.
I will expose this.
Consular access to spies and terrorists.
And
this is what ICJ says, and this is what Human Rights Watch says.
Let me expose this claim. Let me expose this claim of peace that you're talking about. You know, because I've got this video now. that I was talking
Well, okay,
about.
I can talk
Video.
about. I can talk about Kashmir. I can talk about Babri
Sir,
Masjid. I
I'm
can
talking
talk about 1984.
See, again,
I can talk.
no. See, you'll start talking about that, and I'll start talking about Lal Masjid. We won't go anywhere. We won't go anywhere. Let me.
Over there, we can discuss
wait.
that.
So let me just play this video. Just play. This is not me. This is not CNN News 18. This is not an Indian media establishment. It consists of no Indian citizens. This is ARY. Just a short while back. See what the commentary is going on. And Taimur, you know all these individuals yourself. Just listen in to what's going on here.
10 मई को नोटिस सर्व होने के बाद आज हियरिंग होती है 15 मई को। पाकिस्तान के पास 5 दिन थे वो काम करने के जो इंडिया ने हमसे पहले किया। किसके मशवरे से किया? इंडिया का जज पैनल पे है इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस इंसाफ में। इंडिया का जज पैनल पे है। रूल्स उसके ये कहते हैं भट्टी साहब, रूल्स उसके पाकिस्तानी प्यारी कौम, ये जो सरिया साजन है और जंगला जंदाल है, उसके आने पे मैं फिर वापस आऊंगा। रूल्स ये कहते हैं कि पाकिस्तान अपना जज एडहॉक जज उसको कहते हैं, वो पैनल पे भेज सकता था, इसलिए कि जब वोटिंग हो जजों के दरमियान तो हम वहां पे एक वीटो पावर रखते। मैं सवाल उठाना चाहता हूं गवर्नमेंट के पास, और मैं सवाल उठाना चाहता हूं अपनी कौम के सामने, मैं सवाल उठाना चाहता हूं पूरे पाकिस्तानियों के ज़मीर के सामने। क्या आपको इस बात का यकीन है जो बात बाबर अवान को पता थी, वफाकी हुकूमत पाकिस्तान को नहीं पता थी, रियासत पाकिस्तान के मैनेजरों को नहीं पता थी?
पॉसिबल नहीं है।
पॉसिबल नहीं है। तो बताइए तैमूर साहब, आप बहुत जोर जोर से चिल्ला रहे थे और आप बात बहुत कह रहे थे पाकिस्तानी पर्सपेक्टिव, ये भी है पाकिस्तानी पर्सपेक्टिव। तैमूर जी जरा बता दीजिए।
Stance at ICJ.
Yeah,
that is what he's saying.
Which means that you have not equipped yourself with what has happened to the ICJ. That's my limited
because
argument.
We are not on the defensive, because we have this terrorist, which Pakistani establishment.
You are just because Mr. Shamil, you keep referring to this word terrorist, it doesn't make him a terrorist. Jaidev ji,
that's what Pakistan is saying.
No, that's what you are saying. You are saying that without any basis. You are saying that without any evidence.
Let's take a recent case, a prominent case of Kasab. When he came here, he was caught red-handed after killing so many people. We produced evidence. We traced where he came from. We traced his village. In fact, the Pakistani TV channels first traced where he was. Then he was given a trial. I mean, he was put on a trial.
Because we are a mature democracy.
And we asked,
because we are a mature democracy.
And we asked the Pakistani embassy to come and meet him.
We didn't say some two-star general will go and there'll be a kangaroo court, and in course of a trial where no lawyer will come.
Lengthy trial.
It is a kangaroo court. Of course it's
lengthy trial, and we asked the Pakistani embassy to come there. We granted consular access. They didn't want to come.
Sambit.
They disowned the fact that he was in India.
That's the whole problem. Sambit, you wanted to come in. Sambit.
Pakistan is fighting a war on terror.
Sir, please allow me to speak. Mr. Taimur.
Pakistani army.
Taimur, let's listen to
Mr.
Sambit.
Taimur, allow others to speak.
Taimur, I'm coming back to you.
Irrespective of his identity.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back to you, Taimur.
Allow others to speak.
Yeah, Sambit.
Yeah, thank you. See, number one, we have to go into the core of the case. What Pakistan is saying is, see, the consular access need not be given to people who are national security threat. It need not be given to spies and terrorists. Now, here they are wrong. Though consular access over here is the core of the issue, but remember, Pakistan at the end, after 1 year, we first applied for consular access on 26th of March 2017. We applied that for 15 times, and on the 16th time, that is almost a year after that, on 10th of I have the date. On 10th of April 2017, there was a verbal communication from Pakistan's side that we will give you consular access, but it is conditional. And the condition that they wanted to impose was that you have to cooperate with the investigation. Now, over here, number one, so the Pakistani dispensation claimed that they would not give consular access because it is of national security issue, it falls flat. Number two, as per the Vienna Convention, the consular access cannot be conditional, it has to be unconditional. Thirdly, and very importantly, 10th April 2017 is the day when the death sentence had already been confirmed. So once the death sentence has been confirmed, once the whole prosecution has already taken place, the sham, the farcical prosecution has already taken place. Thereafter, you want to give the consular access, and that to a conditional one. It only shows that you did not want the participation of Indian dispensation in the prosecution.
Can I give you a final
and
word?
most
I'll give you a
important,
final word,
just 10 more seconds. It's very important to know what the core contention is. The core contention is two rights have been violated. Rights of India as a nation, because consular access is right of India, and right of Kulbhushan Jadhav as an individual, because in defending himself, he has the right to take the help of the mother nation, the nation to which he belongs. Both these rights were denied. Right of India and right of Kulbhushan.
Before I come to Taimur, Ambassador Singh, one important point coming from what Sambit is saying, and again, a lot of our viewers are asking us this question. There was a trip which was undertaken by Sajjan Jindal to meet Nawaz Sharif. A lot has been speculated both in India and Pakistan about the real reasons for that trip. Ambassador Singh, could it be that what we are seeing play out at the ICJ, where I'm questioning our friend from Pakistan about whether Pakistan went unprepared, why is Pakistan not giving evidence? Could it be that Nawaz Sharif, finding himself completely out of bounds and out of sorts in Pakistan, wants the international court to do what he would have liked to do, but he cannot do because of his problems with the Pakistani military? Could that be the reason why we're seeing this story play itself out in this way at the ICJ?
The political parties.
One moment, Ambassador Singh.
When it comes to national security.
Yeah, Ambassador Singh.
And that is
wait, Taimur, Ambassador Singh, and then you, Ambassador Singh.
Yeah, it's difficult to assess what conclusion Nawaz Sharif came to, but immediately after that meeting, you had the beheadings at the LOC. So Pakistani army's stance was very clear from that. They were warning the Prime Minister that please don't go down that route. Now, what conclusion India came to, either independent of the message they got or they realized there's no other avenue, I would imagine that they didn't get any positive signal. And that is why they decided to go to ICJ, which would be a last resort. Normally, these things are best resolved through the back channel, quietly, trade-offs are done, and then you see what kind of a solution you can have. But obviously, India didn't get a satisfactory response. And then, because of the beheadings, the relationship really was embittered. And even if there was a possibility of a resolution, that receded.
So therefore, Taimur Shamil, am I to understand that henceforth, every conflict between India and Pakistan will only be settled now in international court? So is there an internationalization, supposedly, of this Indo-Pak matter, which now seems to be becoming a reality according to you?
No, I think there are a lot of people in India and a lot of people in Pakistan who think that relations should improve. But the thing is that when we have people like Kulbhushan Jadhav or people supported by RAW operating inside Pakistan, that certainly is a problem, because Pakistan is fighting war on terror. Pakistan has been fighting most notorious. Let me complete. Please.
Yes, yeah.
Pakistan has been fighting most notorious groups like Al-Qaeda, like TTP,
and many of them promoted by you, many of them promoted by Pakistan itself. I must say that I haven't disconnected the Skype call.
Musharraf says they are your hero.
Yeah, I mean, Hafiz Saeed, who's just now been declared as a terrorist by the Pakistani establishment itself, and someone who was created by Pakistan itself. Thanks to all my panelists for joining us on Viewpoint tonight. And again, we did not disconnect the Skype call. It got disconnected on its own. Maybe the Skype also is aware of the treachery which is being indulged in by Pakistan. It's a zero-sum game which is being played by Pakistan. And for the life of me, I cannot understand how is it that Pakistan, which was so gung-ho about this confessional video, when that confessional video itself doesn't get played in the international court, what other evidence is Pakistan then talking about? Let's step into a short break. Keep your comments coming. My Periscope feed is buzzing. On Twitter, a lot of people asking us questions. Any other question that you have about who's going to be the hero, villain, and ridiculous of the day? Do you believe one of our panelists, or do you believe that one of our headline makers could be the hero of the day today? Keep tweeting. We'll come back and see you on the other side of the short break. Okay, in this segment of Viewpoint, we turn to stories which may have missed the eye of stormy headlines. Starting first with Uttar Pradesh, and there, the UP Assembly was literally resembling like this ball of fire. It was a stormy session. All hell had broken loose on the first day of the new Chief Minister, Adityanath Yogi. Just look at this. This is UP Assembly. Posters, whistles, banners and whatnot. And there is the Chief Minister sitting, smiling, simply trying to avoid the chaos. The next big headline, folks, if you are a computer user, smartphone user, there is trouble lurking around you. There's a massive cyber attack which is currently bulldozing through the entire world. The ransomware attack goes by the name WannaCry and is spreading fast, including here in India. The Information Technology Ministry has contacted the Reserve Bank of India as well as the UIADI after what is being considered as an unprecedented attack ever seen anywhere in the world in a very long time. Headline number 3, last week Viewpoint had exposed how liquor is flowing in that dry state of Bihar. We'd shown in collaboration with our sister channel ETV through a sting operation. Today the Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has taken cognizance of liquor actually being drained in river Ganga. Talk about a river being polluted. Headline number 4, it was Mother's Day yesterday and there is still no gesture more heartwarming than what you will see now. A 90-year-old in Uttar Pradesh's Kanpur district sold her 5 goats to construct a toilet for her 120-year-old mother-in-law. Mera Bharat Mahan, Jai Hind and Jai Bharat Ma. This is the real Ma, which needs to be saluted. And headline number 5, it's been debated extensively, which is why I've kept it towards the end of my pack tonight. Superstar Rajnikant. He met his fans for the first time in 8 years today, and he's already hinting at a possible career in politics now. He says he has no political aspirations, but will consider it as an act of God, will of God, if God was to decide that he should do something. Incidentally, just when he was doing this, BJP's top brass and RSS decided to reach out to him, Subramanian Swamy of the BJP, advising him not to join politics. Okay, on that heroistic note, let's look at who's our hero, villain, ridiculous of the day. Our hero of the day, well, that was a choice by consensus. Noted legal luminary from India, Harish Salve, our dear friend Harish Salve, very well done. And many more to what you have managed to achieve today for presenting India's case so articulately and effectively. You, sir, are the hero of the day. Who's the ridiculous of the day? Ridiculous of the day is Harish Salve's counterpart from Pakistan. Don't miss, and I really don't mean to be insulting anyone or not, but that headgear that he had and the kind of arguments that he was making, immediately it became the butt of all jokes across social media. You, sir, are the ridiculous of the day for making a complete ass of whatever evidence you thought Pakistan had about Kulbhushan Jadhav. And who's the villain of the day? Villain of the day is a very, very serious topic. Something that all of you need to be very wary about and careful about. This computer software, this ransomware, massive virus attack which is currently on across the country. Don't open any of these attachments. Anything which comes with ransomware or anything, just don't open it. That's it then from me. Keep looking at your computer and your smartphones closely for this virus attack. Hopefully, even when I see you tomorrow, you'll still be safe and sound. Your computers will be safe and sound. Sleep well. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Goodbye.